For the next year, Fox 12 is counting down to America's 250th birthday by sharing stories of Pacific Northwest history.
One local historical society is preserving the history of their community by building a brand new museum, a dream many of its members have been working toward for years.
Fox 12's Iowa Elise takes us to Corbett to share their story.
Corbett is a pretty unique group of people.
Dick Wand is a board member of the Crown Point Country Historical Society.
And there's so many of us that have grown up here all our lives.
And he's the person playing a key role in bringing the Crown Point Country Museum to life.
And so that vision, I think, transferred into everybody that, okay, let's have something that we can all be proud of.
Years in the making, the newly constructed museum is modeled after a log cabin.
A perfect thing for this was to be a log accent because of the logging in the community.
The Historical Society formed in the 1970s so that communities like Bridalveil, Corbett, Palmer Mill, and others along the gorge could share the stories of families who settled there and preserve historical items. Many of those items have been stored for years in the homes of the volunteers. Chuck Rollins is the president of the society.
Our earliest settlers were here in around 1849, and one of them was named Joseph Latterell, which the little town of Latterell is named after. And he married the daughter of an Indian princess.
The couple eventually brought cattle to the area to raise for settlers who were arriving to the area. Some of those families came down the Columbia while others traveled the Oregon Trail. Eventually, the logging and fishing industry would come to thrive in Corbett and the surrounding areas.
Oregon's history is based on farming, logging and lumbering, fishing. We had all that here. And we thought, what an opportunity to tell our story, yet tell the Oregon story, as to just about everything done in Oregon could have been found here.
After buying a plot of land in the middle of Corbett and breaking ground in 2018, the museum building is complete and ready to be filled with the stories of not only the settlers, but also the generations of indigenous people who lived there before the settlers arrived. That includes the Wascos, who are now part of the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs. Ken Smith is a medicine chief for the tribe.
I come here, I bless the land before anything started here. I sang a song in my old language.
Completely managed by volunteers, the museum will feature historical items, photos, and more with the hopes of becoming a gathering place for the community to learn about the history of the area and to continue to preserve it.
Because everybody feels they're part of this now. It wasn't done by me or him or her, it was done by all of us. So we all have a hand in what we have here today.
With the grand opening planned for spring, the Society is now getting to work assembling displays to showcase the history of Crown Point. Iowa Elise, Good Day, Oregon.
The museum will be hosting open houses on the 1st of October, November, and December ahead of its planned opening in the spring.